I've just finished work. This is weird, isn't it, talking outside. I've jumped on a bus across town because there's some exciting bike racing going on in Hove Park tonight, so I thought I'd come see if I can get some video of it going on, and hopefully it'll look really nice. Fast bikes, sun shining, apparently there's a fair as well, loads of other stuff going on, so yeah. I'm not sure there's anything going on actually, I can't see much happening. It's super weird talking to a camera in public. So apparently, right, this is called crit racing, and what these guys do, traditionally it's on like fixed gear bikes, but I think these guys are just on racing bikes, and what they're going to do is they're going to race around a closed circuit for 40 minutes, and then a bell goes off after 40 minutes, and they've then got 5 laps, I think, 5 laps of the circuit, and it's the first person across the line wins. So it's a really tactical type of racing. I've never seen it before. But a couple of people have told me that it's really good and they are going to go really fast. So I think I can actually see, yeah, I think I can see some people. So I've just finished editing the footage from the crit last night. Had such a good time there, and oh, wait a minute, I haven't got my hat on. Don't know whether you noticed, but yesterday I actually bought a new hat. That's better. So yeah, had a lot of fun at the crit. It was really exciting. There was one corner in particular where I was sure that someone was going to stack it, but no accidents whatsoever, which is good because accidents don't make for good video, do they? Do they? Anyway, enough of that. Whilst I was filming, it was very challenging to get the footage. I mean, the bikes were going super fast, and because of the light was amazing for shooting in, but very difficult to actually shoot in because it's right in your face and it's reflecting off your LCD screen on my camera. So yeah, it was quite challenging, and through doing it, there's a few things which I sort of learned throughout the evening or through thinking about since getting home, and I thought I'd share them with you, so perhaps if you're shooting action shots around sunset, then maybe you can learn from my mistakes and get some better footage. So, tip number 1, focus. It was very difficult to to make sure anything at all was in focus. And there's a couple of things which I probably could have done a bit better, probably could have been a bit more organised about to ensure that I got focus. So tip number one is, if at all possible, you can put someone in the path where the bikes were going to be, not while they're racing, but I mean, I was with my dad. I could have, before the race started, I could have got him to stand in the path exactly where I knew the bikes were going to be, and then I could have taken all the time in the world to get that focus correct. And then when he moves, the race starts. As long as I stay where I am, I know that exactly where those bikes are going to be, exactly where my dad was stood, I'm going to be pin sharp focused and get some really nice video. I didn't do that, and as a result, there's a lot of footage that I can't use. So that's tip number one. Tip number two, also to do with focus, because that was the theme of the evening, and it's what I struggled with the most, is my camera has actually got a zoom in function. I think most cameras have actually got it, and the standard Canon firmware, what you do is you can zoom in like 10 times zoom, and you can see very clearly then if you're on focus on something. You can take your time, get that focus, and then when you hit record, it zooms you out, and you know that that spot that you zoomed into is going to be in focus. Would have been great to do that, but I just didn't think about it at the time. Also, to do with zoom, if you've got the Magic Lantern firmware, then that's got a little trick called Magic Zoom, which is just like the Canon's built-in zoom, except you can actually use it whilst you're recording, which is even better because it means at any point when you're filming, you can just zoom in on something. It brings up a little overlay window over the top, and from there, you know that you are pin sharp in focus. So that's tip number two. And finally, tip number three, which seems really obvious now it's come to me after the event, but I'm a big fan of the blurry background. I'm always trying, when I'm filming something, to use the lowest aperture that I possibly can and get that blurry background effect because it's really nice. However, when bikes are moving really quickly, that reduces your chances greatly of getting them in focus, because having the blurry background greatly reduces the depth of field. So by the end of the evening, I cottoned on to this, and what I actually did was I increased my ISO, so I brightened the shot up using the ISO, which allowed me to close my aperture to about 10 or 11 at times, to still have a correctly exposed shot, but then the depth of field is so much greater that you've just got so much more of a chance that what you're aiming at is actually going to be in focus. And a lot of what I was doing last night was sort of aim and hope a little bit, because I just was really struggling to see the screen. So if I've got a bigger depth of field, then I've just got much more chance of actually getting what I want in focus. So there's three things which I wish I'd learnt before I went to film the crit, but you know, you live and learn. If you're shooting any action, perhaps you find them helpful. If you disagree with anything that I've come up with, or you think I'm wrong, then please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. I'm here to learn and to share what I'm learning, essentially. So if you've got any comments, then please share them with me. That's it for today. If you like the video, give it a little like with the thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. It means I know that I'm not just talking to myself here. If you really like the video, then maybe subscribe to the channel, and then you'll get notified when I next upload a video. And other than that, I'll see you next week. There's my dad, Barry Chidlow, struggling with some camera settings. Here we go, I think he's got something.